And now, weighing in out of the blue corner, Josh the Pug Thompson. 100% agree. And on the other mic, he weighs in from the red corner, Big John McCarthy.
All right, guys, here with Josh Thompson, Big John McCarthy, Podcast Dave. Just a couple things. Please hit the subscribe button. Okay, we've got a couple things we're going to talk about tonight on YouTube, SoundCloud, Google Play, Spotify, all those things. Hit the subscribe button, hit the thumbs up on YouTube. That'll share our videos to everyone else. We appreciate it. You guys have been doing that for us lately, and our numbers are growing, just like you guys talk about in the comment section. Thank you guys so much. We appreciate it. Also, prowrestlingtees.com/Josh Thompson Official. There's a new shirt up. John and I really like this one. Podcast Dave put together some nice artwork, and it's pretty cool, man. I like it. So check it out there at prowrestlingtees.com/Josh Thompson Official. Okay, and then that'll take you right to our shirts. We have the original weighing in logo on there, as well as the new design. So it's pretty cool. Check it out. Big John, what's going on, buddy?
Come on, so much is going on. Life is just moving at a snail's pace.
Yes,
it's killing me. It's all right though. We got fights coming up. I'm at least a little bit happy, and I'm happy with the way it's going. It's completely different than what was kind of happening the last time with UFC 249, so they're going in the right direction. We're going to have fights. I feel good about this one. This one will happen. So
you're pretty stoked. Good. You're pretty stoked.
I'm kind of stoked. I am, dude. It lost a really good fight with Amanda Nunes pulling out. I understand why she pulled out, though. Man, you got to look and you got to say it's why. Exactly. Oh, basically, real simple. I wasn't able to train the way that I need to train to fight someone and be confident that I'm ready. And, you know, it's exactly what you were talking about that I don't think a lot of people understood when you're saying, are we going to get the best version? You know, are these guys ready to, you know, come in here and fight under the conditions that they've been put under here? And we're not going to see the very best of them. I think Amanda was looking at it the same way. She's going, hey, I'm the champ. I have to perform to a certain level, and I'm not getting the training that's making me feel like I'm going to reach that level that I need to be at. So she pulled herself out. You can't blame her.
Not at all. No. She's the champion. And people got to remember that the money when you're a champion is a lot different than when you're not the champion.
You think?
So, and we were just talking about this.
Hold it. What? Stop. You do this for money?
Yeah.
What are you talking about? You don't do this for money, Josh. Guys, people don't fight for money.
There's a space in my career where I just really thought, like I knew I became a prize fighter. It was all about the money. And and don't get me wrong, I still loved training. I still loved competing.
Of course.
But it became about the money. The business side, it reared its ugly head and it took over. And it made me focus a lot more also. Like, hey, you're getting paid this much. It's like any other job. When you get a raise, you better fucking perform, because if you don't, there's no demoting you. You're just gone.
There is somebody else that will take your place.
Yes, and you're just gone. So we were just talking about this off air about somebody I know bought a big property right after he won the title, and he ended up losing his next fight, and just there went the money. The money wasn't the same. So when that happens, what do you do, man? Like you gotta sell the property, or you gotta do this. You gotta be financially responsible for what goes on, and you realize you become a prize fighter, and it changes things. And she did a very smart move. I don't think it was worth it.
You know, unfortunately, a lot of fans don't look at it this way. There's just a business side that you've got to run your business. Yes, you're fighting for the UFC, and that's a business unto themselves. But you are a business yourself, and you've got to run your career as a business, because it's only going to be there for so long, and you've got to do the right moves to make sure that you are taking care of yourself, not only now, but also in the future.
Yeah. Yeah, I look at, I think someone who I've admired for a while, and the way he's done business and the way he's able to pull these things off was Dominick Cruz. He's ran his career like a business. And I was very impressed with how, for him to sit on the sideline for 3 years, right? Then come back and basically get his title back right away. He ran it as a business. There's no ring rust, because all I do is stay training. He's the guy that kind of stamped that whole, like, this is how I'm going to run my life, and which just so happens to be my business. He did a great job at it. I think
he's trying to do it again here. Yeah. How long has it been since he fought?
It's got to be at least probably 2 years.
His last fight was against who?
Cody Garbrandt.
Yeah,
when he lost the title.
That fight.
Shit,
that fight.
That was maybe 3-4 years ago.
So 3 years ago. Come on, man. I mean, you look, you go. He did it again. Now he's been working, so you can look and say, he's been doing all the commentating for the UFC and things like that, but he hasn't fought in a long time again.
Yeah,
and he's going about doing things. He's got a shot against Cejudo here. I'm really surprised when I see people complaining about that title shot. I just don't get it. How can you say that he doesn't deserve it?
Stupid.
The guy deserves a title fight because of who he is, what he's done in the sport, and the way he's performed every time he steps out there. Even when he loses, like he lost to Cody Garbrandt, dude, he put on a hell of a performance.
That was a great fight.
Oh, dude, that was a great fight. I love that fight.
I watched that fight in New York with Chuck Liddell, and I think Randy was there. We were all there, and we watched it at this bar in New York because the PFL, I think, was like the next night. Yeah. Fitch fought Jake Shields the next night in New York, so we were all out there for that. Yeah, that was a great fight. We were all sitting. It was phenomenal. I thought it was a great fight.
Cody Garbrandt was breakdancing inside there, but just
I loved it, man. I thought it was so great. He was the one guy that just did not let Dominic get in his head. He seemed like he let him get into his head, like in camp and in the pressures and all that stuff. But when he got into the fight, it was like there was not a care in the world. He knew he was going to win. I was like, wow.
Dominic does not get the credit that he deserves for his banter.
Oh, yeah.
And his ability to get guys to be pissed and want to kill him. And I thought, going into that, I was watching, I'm going, Cody's starting to get mad. He's starting to lose it, because he's having all these moments. It's like, you cannot let Dominic get there. You can't let him have that. Because he just feeds off of it and he loves it. And he's good at making you then go after him, try to kill him, and he takes advantage of all the mistakes you make and he gets his win.
Yeah.
But Cody I was so impressed. Just when he backed off, I was like, oh, there you go. Okay, smart move. And he just continued to do it throughout the fight. What a performance.
Yeah, we just haven't seen that Cody since, though. He let TJ get into his head. I think he got caught up with the critics and all the ways that he lost to TJ those other 2 times. And when he fought, what was his name? Mark Munoz?
Pedro Munoz.
Okay, when he fought him, he got caught into the slugfest again.
Well, he got caught into that position of, instead of going out and saying, I'm just going to let this happen. I'm going to let it come. I'm going to keep touching him. And one of the times when I touch him, he's not going to get up. No, you're searching for that one shot knockout and you're planting your feet and you're taking risks when you do it. And those risks have not paid off for him and they've worked against him. So, I think he's going to come back a much smarter fighter. He's still talented, man. And he's got power in his hands. For 135 pounds, dude, that guy can swat, as you would say, dogs.
Yeah, he's got dogs in those hands. He's got dogs in those hands. I think there's no doubt. I think he'll come back. I wonder. Someone was telling me that he's not a big guy, and I've met him a couple times. I thought he looked like a normal 135 pounder, but his cut to 25. I don't know how good it's going to be. It doesn't seem like it's going to be hard for him, though. From everyone telling me, it's like it's not going to be hard for him. So if that's the case, maybe 25 is better for him. But man, I can't imagine him. I don't know. Getting to 25. I've seen him a couple times, and he doesn't seem that small. We've got a couple 25 pounders that train at AKA right now. And I'm like, man, I see what's his name? Dustin Ortiz. He comes and trains there a lot. And, some of the old people from Alpha Male are there right now. And so we're there before the COVID thing started.
When Sean Bunch is not fighting at 125, he makes 135 and can't get down to 125. Telling you something.
Yeah, he is. Sean, man. That guy, I swear to God, did not even believe that he was like 36 or 37, something like that.
Dude, he looks like a kid.
I couldn't believe it. He looks like a little kid.
He does.
And he like kind of just kind of, I don't even know how to explain. He almost feels like he has that Southern style of just laid back, relaxed. Everything's, what's up? What's going on? I'm just like,
how you doing?
Exactly. How you doing? It's like he has that very this like, I don't know. He's a great guy, man. He's a true story. him and I met the first time. We were all out in Fresno. He was out there hanging out with the Zinkins, who's happened to be my manager. They were all out there for an event at the Save Mart Center. And I wasn't fighting on that event, but I was there. And DC was there. DC happened to be really good friends with him. And it was a big wrestling crew there of guys that all just came off the Olympic circuit. And they were all out in Fresno to watch the fights because DC had them come out for Dwayne, this big event. True story. The very first time that Bunch and I ever met, we almost started throwing blows on each other. We just got into it. It was he was like, "Oh no, I'm gonna do it." And guess who was the mediator? Guess who was the mediator? Daniel Cormier. That guy, he was the guy actually instigating it. I said, poor Sean Bunch.
That's exactly what I would see. He's like, hey, Josh, don't do that. Go ahead, Sean. Go get him.
Yeah.
Go get him.
Yeah. He was trying to break it up, but at the same time, he's like, Bunch, you gonna let him talk to you that way? Bro, you can't let him talk to you like that. You gotta let that boy talk to you that way. And then he would turn to me and be like, bro, this guy, he can wrestle, man. He can wrestle, but he can't stand your head kick. Go get him, Josh. Go get him. Don't let him talk to you. Look, he's smaller than you, Josh. Don't let him talk to you that way. He was, I gotta tell you, man, like if you had someone that could instigate fights or get people caught into an exchange, we call it hooking in the gym. Oh, he hooked you. We call it hooking when someone can instigate it between two other people and leave. So I would do that with Javier all the time. I would do it with Javier all the time. I would hook him into a conversation and I would drag somebody else into it, and then I would have those, and then we'd all be arguing, and then I would just skate out and just watch from a distance and watch them argue. We call it hooking at AKA. We've been doing it for years, even before DC and Kane and everybody. I used to do it to Jav, and then there was actually the gym manager. It was an old gym manager at AKA. He used to do it to all of us. He's the one that kind of got me started on the whole thing. So I would argue, I'd start a conversation, an argument with like Rich Crunkleton and Jake Shields, or, like it was just all these guys, Pat Minahan and Paul Bonatello. I'd get them all arguing. And as soon as they started arguing, I would just bounce and skate away, and I'd take my phone and video it. I would just watch from far away. And Hav would just start laughing because I would do it to him all the time. Because I would get them caught up in this big argument. And when they get caught up in it, they're willing to make bets that their brain just doesn't process yet. So I would win money or I'd win dinners off of them. So Javier owes me like 13 or 14 steak dinners because of all the dumb bets I've talked him into. So it's funny, man. But DC that night was on a tear. He was like running back and forth. Like he was like a referee in the middle, but it was like, no, man, gotta stay back, man. Stay back, Josh, just stay back. We'll talk to him, man. We'll talk to him. And just he'd run over and talk to him. You're like, Bunch, you gonna let him talk to you that way, man? Don't let him talk to you that way. And, yeah, what? And Bunch would get all amped up.
Bunchy, you can't let him do that.
Oh,
Bunchy.
Man. It was great. It was so great, man. It was so many. It was hilarious. I think Rockhold was there. Who else was there? Rockhold, Bunch. I mean, that was the first time I ever met Sean Bunch. But a great guy, man. Ever since then, we've been cool. Been a great guy. So speaking of AK, let's talk about Rockhold. Rockhold said he's getting the itch.
Of course he's getting the itch.
What do you think?
What does that mean?
I think maybe he's going broke.
Ooh.
I think. Well, it's hard, man. I think it's people don't. I didn't realize, honestly, I didn't realize how much I had to watch my spending after I knew I was, after the Patricky fight, I kind of figured I wasn't going to fight again. So you have to watch it a lot. You can't, even though the gym was making me money and some other things that I invest in, they were making me money, but you got to watch your money. It goes fast, it goes really fast, and and he likes to live a nice lifestyle. I'm not saying he's broke. I'm just simply saying that he's probably realized that money's starting to be a little bit of a factor. I mean, it's been 2 years now, right? Something like that. Maybe 18 months.
Here's the question though. And you got to look and say, I'm going to step back. Joe Rogan did something that I thought at the time when he did it, I said, man, he's being a true friend when he talked to Brendan Schaub.
Yeah.
And Brendan got mad at him. And it was, hey, why are you fighting?
Yeah.
Not going to be the champ. I'm just being honest. You're not going to be the champ. And so what is it that you're fighting for? Is it that you're fighting for money? Is it that, that's what you want? But, you're accepting damage and, you've been knocked out now a couple of times, and all this stuff that he went and he talked about. It's almost like maybe someone should talk to Rockhold about that, saying, why are you fighting? Because if it is the money, okay, you've got to fight because you know what? You need the money. I don't know that.
Yeah.
But And, you take a look, and Luke went up to light heavyweights, and he felt he was going to do very well against Jan, and that didn't work out for him. And he can go to, he could go back down to 185. He makes that weight. He's a huge 185er when he fights, but then the speed is there a little bit and everything. And you look at this point, Luke has been diminished to the point where he can't take that big shot and recover. And so he can win. I'm not saying he can't win the fight if he doesn't get touched with a good shot. But man, as soon as he gets touched, he's going to be, fighting that slippery slope, and the ice is going to be under his feet, and he's going to be having some problems in that fight. And you just look and you go, man, there's got to be a better way, man. I don't know what he's got for his modeling career and stuff, but the guy is incredibly good looking. He's been a model for, Ralph Lauren.
Yeah, he still is.
All that stuff.
He's still doing work like that. The thing is how long will that last? The other thing is,
true.
when you do things like let's use Ronda, let's use Gina. I can't use Gina because she's still doing really, really well. But you have other actors, you have other sports people that have left, because they were on top, and then they went to do movies, and then those movies dry up when you're not fighting anymore. So they kind of go hand in hand. I'm not just fighting, but I'm saying football players, baseball players. That's why they schedule everything around their career. They say, look, I'll do stuff on my off season, but they can't do anything during the season. So for fighters, they can schedule things if they can make it organized. The hardest part is that whenever you're doing stuff like Hollywood stuff, or if you're doing Hollywood stuff, you're doing photo shoots, whatever it is, they almost always want to get you right around fight camp time because you're also in shape. There's that. And then two is you don't know when these things are going to pop up. So you sometimes have to say no to a fight, but then do you want to do that because it's guaranteed money? Or do you want to go do the other thing that's probably less money, but it opens the door for you to do other things when you're not training? So it's a catch-22, and I always try to relate things back to what I've done before, but it's hard. Like I did a couple movies and I had to say no to a fight, and then I had to come back and get ready for a fight right away. So that you have things that, like, you want to do it for the experience, and maybe it's something that can lead to something, but you also don't want to take away from what makes you your bread and butter. It's a hard situation.
You say it's a catch-22. I don't see it that way.
Okay, what do you think?
Because one, you're playing.
Yeah.
One, you're just playing. Hey, I want to go play. Okay. But when you play, you're not taking care of business. And one is your business. And I always look and I tell guys all the time, and they want to get into acting, hey, spend as much time acting and learning how to act as you did fighting. And maybe someday you can actually be an actor. Yeah. Because right now you're playing an actor. You're not an actor. You're not good. You suck. I'm just telling you. Okay. Yeah. I'm just being honest, I all the time, I got offered things. It's like, no, man, I suck. I'm not an actor. Because I didn't put in any time to learn how to do that. And it's a craft. It's a skill like anything. And if you think you're just going to go do it, and you're going to be good, ain't happening. It ain't happening. You gotta be smart about saying, hey, this is how I make my money. This is my true business, and this is how I play. That catch-22, I'm not sure it's a catch-22. It's called ego starts to get the best of you, and you want to go do that thing because, it's fun and it's kind of, different. Can't let that happen.
Yeah, I looked at it more like it was something different to try and see what it could potentially lead to. So when things like that came along, it depended on how serious it was, though, too. And it also depended on what the money was. So, it's like if the money was good and the experience was high, then I would go do it. If the money was, and the experience wasn't good at all, or it was just more like, we're going to do this photo shoot for this magazine that you'd never heard of. You're like, all right, whatever. But, do a movie and have a lead in it or do something like that, then that's something you go, what, this could be fun. This will be fun because I'll make it fun. And it could lead to something you don't know, so you might as well try it. So that was like, there's different, I think there's different levels. There's levels to this game. There's different levels to where the priority list is. And so like this was up here and this other one was not there. And I think with Rockhold, he just needs to, I think he'll have the modeling stuff and he can fit that in between fights. I think he can. I also look at guys who have like GSP. You know, he got caught by Matt Serra, and he kind of changed and evolved his game to better benefit him. And I think Rockhold has always been fucking phenomenal on the ground. He just got away from his wrestling. He got away from all the things that got him to being a world champion and became a stand-up guy and just didn't go back to his wrestling. And it looked like he had never wrestled before a day in his life and in his later fights. And I'm just driving myself crazy because I remember watching him fight Jacare, where Jacare was just trying to get him down. And Luke was on par with stuff in the takedowns. Just could not get Jacare. Got him down. He hopped back up. Jacare went to get him, like started to lift him and take him down. Luke put a foot down. Luke has all the intangibles when it comes to his jiu-jitsu, his wrestling, all those things, but he got away from him so much that the setups for it and everything like that are not tied in with his stand-up anymore. And so that scares me and concerns me. But if he wants to reshape his career and make it more of a GSP style of wrestler, 185, not a 205, at 185, I think he can end up being the world champion again. I have no doubt. I have no doubts about it.
I agree with you completely because Luke Rockhold's ground game is outstanding. I mean, incredible.
Yeah.
So good that people don't know, but he doesn't use it. He did that same thing that everyone does. He came up being a grappler.
Yeah.
And then got into the striking area, is good at it, and then decided, I like knocking people out, and just basically walked away from the grappling, didn't do it. You know, take a look at what he did when he won the title against Weidman. On the ground, Chris Weidman, you know, collegiate wrestler, all of these things. Talk to Sarah about how good he is on the ground and everything. And Rockhold just dominated him on the ground. You know, Rockhold just did a grappling thing against Nicky Rod where go and watch it. Now, Rock made some mistakes in the match and he ended up losing the match. But, dude, Nicky Rod couldn't do anything with him for a lot of it. He's that good, you know, and he needs to do exactly what you said. Start implementing that grappling game in his fights. He could, you know, take less damage, learn from a guy like a Randy Couture that, you know what, just kept going with what brung him and use the grappling to keep that distance where he could be safe and do his thing. Rocko could still move on and do things in the fight world. But if he fights the way that he has been over the last, 5-6 years, he's going to end up getting touched on the chin and he's going to end up getting knocked out and it's going to be another loss on his record. And he's not going to make it up that ranking list and to the point where he's getting the bigger money.
Yeah, I think at 185, he'll have a hard time with guys like Paulo Costa. I don't know if he'll have a hard time. And I know people are going to give me a hard time about this. I don't know if he'll have a hard time with Izzy because I think.
Come on.
I'm saying no. I know he'll have a hard time. I'm saying like I think he could. I think he could give Izzy.
Could he match up with Izzy fighting a smart fight?
Yes. That's what I was trying to get to. There you go. I think people are going to be like, you're fucking crazy.
Would he match up with Izzy the way he's been fighting? No. He's going to get knocked out.
If he utilized his wrestling and his jiu-jitsu, I think he'd be able to because the size and the length, all that stuff.
Well, the size, those guys are very similar. And I will tell you, Rockhold is stronger than Izzy.
Yeah.
Rockhold's strong.
Yeah.
People don't realize he is just a core strength, strong human being.
Yeah.
So
there's things along with him, like watching him, watching him come up. He used to skate all the time. He used to surf all the time. He used to do all these things that kept him being an athlete. And now I see like really it's like more just training now. When he trains, it's more just training. I wonder if he's still surfing. I wonder if he's still skating. I wonder all those things.
He should be
because all those things make you an athlete.
Who he is.
Yeah, it's what makes you an athlete. I've tried to explain to people that if you have kids, right, get your kids involved in almost everything you possibly can, whether it's skating, whether it's riding bikes, whether it's playing soccer, all those things, because those are the things that shape them to be whatever athlete they want to be later on and, as they get older. And then not only that, but it gives them the body coordination from gymnastics to surfing to skating to riding a bike to running, whatever it is. Get them in as much stuff as you possibly can because the kids that do a bunch of different things, I just feel like later on in life have the motor skills to do whatever they want. It doesn't matter what they can be. Maybe they're not the best at one thing because maybe they didn't care, but they end up being very good at a lot of things and they can compete with anybody. That gives your kids later on the encouragement to just do whatever they want to do in life, and they're confident in what they can do. So with Luke, I feel like every time he walked into the gym, he knew he was confident in everything he could do because he knew he was trained jiu-jitsu, was a skater, was a surfer. I mean, he could obviously run, played soccer, I think a little bit in volleyball as well. I think his grandfather was like played for the Golden State Warriors or something like that. And like he has some, his brother was a pro surfer, really good, and so I feel like he just comes from a family that has athletes in it, and he could do anything he wants to reshape his career and just go back to what he was doing. Wrestling, jiu-jitsu, stuffing the takedowns, using his hands when he needs to, but getting back on the legs. He's got all the potential. He's always had all the potential. He just needs to up his fight IQ. That's all.
Yeah.
We'll see. I'm excited. I'm excited for him to get the itch, but I'm excited for him to get the itch back at 185, not at 205. That's one.
Yeah.
And two is are we going to see a smarter fighter? It concerns me when I see him with Henry Hooft all the time, because I know that's all you're working is stand up, maybe a little bit of, so I want to see more of the punch kid.
He needs more Kami than he needs Henry.
Yeah, exactly.
Kami Barzini is a guy with the grappling over there, and he needs to spend a lot of time with Barzini and get back to the roots.
Yeah. I mean, they've got other guys there too. Gilbert Burns is there. Who else? Herbert Burns is there as well, his brother. I mean, like they've got good jiu-jitsu guys there. So be nice to see him, get after it.
You're saying at 185, I'm going to bring up two things. We talked about movies and stuff. I did an interview so long ago now. It was when I was living in California even. And I just saw that movie came out. It was on Ronda Rousey. And it's so funny to go back and listen to it. But during it, one of the things I said is because her next fight was going to be against Holly Holm. I said, hey, she needs to be smart in the way she fights this. And they actually put it on the thing. I was surprised. But they had that. And then there's a show that everyone should watch. It's not because I'm on it, but they should watch it for an idea. It's called Bad Cut. It was put out by Flow Grappling. They did a movie. It's well done. It's got like Mike Dolce talking in it a lot, Andy Foster, and it talks about the weight cuts and what's been happening and gives you an idea of what weight cutting can do. So go see Bad Cut or pull it up on whatever. Bad Cut.
What fighter was this around? Was it around a fighter or just weight cutting in general?
Well, it's around weight cutting in general, but it also brings up a fighter that was I want to say his name's Christensen. He's from Texas. He was a jiu-jitsu guy, and he died in the ring. Wow. He had a heart attack because of the potassium loss in his body, and all of a sudden he was fighting, and all of a sudden you see him, he's fighting, and he steps back away, and all of a sudden, boom, he goes down. They brought him back. Wow. He's alive, and he's trying to get back, but this is what weight cuts will come to and stuff. So they did a really good job.
He didn't die. Okay.
Well, he died in the ring, but they brought him back.
That's crazy, man.
Yep.
Yeah. I can't believe, here's the thing is, I just can't believe guys that have never fought, and I hear it all the time. You see, amateur guys, especially amateur guys, they all think it's cool to cut weight.
I know.
And I'm like, are you
crazy?
They think, because we talk about the struggle of making weight all the time, doing this for years. I mean, I've been cutting weight since, I think I was a 8th grader, wrestling in 8th grade. And it was like, but I was cutting like 2 pounds. But in 8th grade, 2 pounds is a lot in 8th grade, like you're still trying to figure it out.
It's a struggle, especially when all the kids are eating Twinkies and Ho-Hos.
Yeah, right. It's like, you're like, what's going on?
I always had that problem, always, because I was always big for my age, and so I always had to lose weight. I had to lose weight for football, for wrestling, for everything. And it was, I was, going to school with this healthy little meal, and it was like, I wanted the peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
Oh man. Yeah. These guys, I don't know. I couldn't believe, I just see some of these guys, especially when you go to the amateur shows and they're talking and they're weighing in the day of, and they're trying to cut like 6-7 pounds. And I'm like, what are you doing?
Oh, are you kidding? I've seen amateur shows where they're trying to cut 20 pounds.
Yeah. It's dumb.
And you look and you go, are you nuts?
Yeah.
You realize how bad you're going to perform after the first minute?
Yep. No, I've just saw, and the funny part is it's only 6 minutes, right? They're 2-minute rounds.
Yep.
So I'm like, it's gonna be a whirlwind of just no technique. It's whoever ends up on top wins. It's like, because the rounds, if you end up on top for for a minute of it, you won. It's like the fight's over unless you get rocked, But it's pretty funny to talk about. But Bad Cut. That's what you call it. It's called by Flow Grappling.
Bad Cut.
Is it on Netflix or anything, or where's it at?
I
on Flow Grappling.
I can't. I think that it is coming out on Netflix and stuff, but I don't know if it's there yet.
Well, you have to replug that when you get the more material. Figure it out.
Yeah. Well, that's not. I'm plugging it because I think they did a really good job with it, and they give an honest view of weight cutting and what it's done in the sport of MMA.
Okay, so I'm gonna shift gears a little bit.
Shift.
UFC 249 in Florida, Jacksonville, and you're saying it's gonna happen.
Yes.
And the reason why it's gonna happen
you
is
you were trying to say the thing about Florida, and I said don't be so sure because I had talked with people there, and they said no, we haven't heard from them at all. And then that next day, yes, and then so I knew, and in fact, the Florida Commission helped push the UFC towards Jacksonville based upon them being, there's certain places in Florida they could have had problems, and in Jacksonville they're not going to have any problems with it. The mayor there is very happy with people being able to do certain things as far as working and things. So this is going to happen. It's completely different. This is where people are going to say, well, you were saying it was bad before. This is completely different what is going on for this 249 compared to when they wanted to go to the Tachi Palace.
No, it isn't, John. It's exactly the same, John. It's exactly the same. Nothing's different, John.
And that right there just shows why you are what we call a
troll. I just trolled you, buddy.
There you go, man.
I just figured it's because of the WWE, man. They laid the way, okay, right? Like Podcast Dave will back me up here. They paved the way for the UFC to end up going to Florida. I think honestly, every promotion just needs to follow what they do. Vince McMahon is a fucking genius. Dana White's not. He just follows what Vince McMahon does, and that's why they're so big. No,
I'll give Podcast Dave this.
What's that?
You want to talk about, Dana often says, hey, I looked at the boxing model and I went in the complete opposite direction. And he did, because he looked at Vince McMahon and he copied him to a T.
Yep.
And, he'll even admit it. Okay. He looked at Vince McMahon and said, that's the way to run the business. And he didn't have the Ali Act that he had to work within like a boxing promoter. So everything that McMahon did, Dana could copy and do. So when you're looking at Vince McMahon, you are looking at the guy that set up what Dana White does.
Yeah, he almost took over his personality as well.
Oh yeah, if he was smart enough to walk out like this, he would have done it.
Yeah.
Connor was the one that had to bring
it. Yeah,
that's it. Do you know how bad that tasted coming out of my mouth? Giving all that credit,
giving all that
and
credit.
Knowing that Dave is sitting there and he's getting a chub.
He loves it, man. He loves it. Every time we bring up the WWE and anything we say positive about them, Dave's over here with his his WWE world title belt, with a little
holding
Chevy,
it over his head,
little Chevy. No, he just copied the model, and I thought we obviously can see he copied the model, but I think I agree with you. It is completely different situations from California to Florida. Completely. Florida's now allowing them to open up a little bit and have some outdoor activities. And they're not going to have fans though. There will be there's no fans. It's surprising. It's going to be in an arena, but that's where they figured they could do it and do it with space. Yeah.
Because it's going to be Bellator is going to start going to sound stages.
Yeah.
Paramount Studios. And those are big, but you've got some questions about space and everything. But the real question is, the officials that are going to be going there, they've been asked to stay in Jacksonville because the UFC's got 3 shows that they're doing in Jacksonville back to back to back. The 9th, I want to say the 13th and the 16th.
Yeah.
And so all the officials that are going to be used have to stay in Jacksonville. So they're going to be there for a week and a half.
What's the 13th? The 13th is a Friday? If that's on the weekend, then what's the 16th? They're gonna have a show on a Monday,
Wednesday.
I guess. I
think a Wednesday.
It's a Wednesday. Yeah.
Okay, so then it really wouldn't matter. It really wouldn't matter then. Like, it doesn't matter anyway, so there's no fans. So people just be watching TV. Okay, yeah, never mind. I keep thinking like, how are you gonna have a show on the Wednesday? Yeah. Anyways, but I was like, it doesn't matter. There's no fans coming, so it doesn't mean
exactly.
You don't have to worry about getting off work.
It's completely different. They're going to be cranking out shows, and this is where people get off on this whole the Fight Island, wherever that's going to be and stuff, and they're talking all kinds of crazy things in crazy places.
Florida's an island. Fuck it.
It's a peninsula.
Fuck it. Just call what it is, man. It's good. That's as close to the island these fuckers are getting. I'm telling you right now. I don't think there's going to be Fight Island because everyone will be back to normal in fucking a couple months. Like, why invest all that time?
I think there is going to be a Fight Island.
Well, maybe.
I really do.
Good for those guys. Good for them.
Here's your difference. You're going to have these fights are going to go off in Florida, in Jacksonville. And what the UFC is trying to do is time out when the Nevada State Athletic Commission can come back into play. And then every show is going to be done at the Apex with the Nevada State Athletic Commission. And what's the reason to move your show around when you can't have fans? And there is no reason.
Everyone loves Vegas, so why not?
Well, and it's not everyone. It doesn't even matter if you hate Vegas, it doesn't matter. If you're a fighter, that's where you're going to go. They have a place for you to train. You've got the PI.
Yeah.
That's there. So if you want to train, we've got a place for you to train. We have the facilities to feed you. They have all of that. And you're just going to be here at the Apex Center. This is where you're going to do the fights. It's all in-house. It works. It's the cheapest. They're in control of everything except the regulation. That was where the real problem stemmed from. The Tachi Palace is Florida. The regulatory body is going to regulate those fights. California, they said no, and the UFC was saying, "Oh, we're going to go do it anyways." And that's where they were stepping outside of what they've always tried to, keep there as, hey, we go with regulation. And that was they were stepping outside of it. That was where the problem was. If they can get back with Nevada working as far as a commission, whenever that happens, then they can go to the Apex Center. That's where all their fights are going to be, except for the international fighters that they have. When is it that they're going to be able to bring them into the United States? Because that's the real question. That's what Fight Island is. Mm-hmm. Fight Island is about all of their international fighters. So the real question for Sean Shelby and Mick Maynard is, as the matchmakers, now you can't even match up all of your fighters. You've got to match up your international fighters. Only they can fight each other. And your domestic fighters, only they can fight each other. So they've got their work cut out for them. It's not an easy task.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I think it's gonna be hard for them to get done regardless. Mick Maynard and Shelby, they're gonna have to earn their money. Like, I remember, and I've said this story I think once or twice already on this show. Joe Silva, one time I was asking for a fight. He's like, "Look, Josh, these are all the lightweights that I have, and look at all the ones that are red. Those are the ones that are injured. There was like 1 or 2 people in the top 20 that were able to fight." He's like, "Those are the guys I can choose from. It's not like I don't want to match you up with those guys.
Sure.
The other ones just can't fight right now. They're either injured, they have stitches, or their baby mama's having a baby. It's all these things that are lined up. And so when they're trying to do their job, and now you have 3/4 of their rosters in another country, it's going to be even harder, And so they've got their work cut out for them. I think I am excited for the fact that they laid out their plan of like, hey, we're going to have fights. What is it? May 4th or whatever, 6th?
May 9th.
May 9th. So May 9th, and then again 13th, then you said
13th, 16th.
So that's going to be perfect, man. I mean, that's a good way to get themselves rolling.
And it gives us something to talk about.
I think, and who knows, Nevada may open up, I think, right around May 15th. So that they can just roll everything else back into Vegas. That's why I say
it just works for them.
So when does Fight Island start then? If they're able to go back to Vegas, there'd be no reason to do Fight Island unless you call it the Apex.
You can't bring the fighters from other countries into the United States. Yeah. That's the problem.
But you don't think they'll allow
talking about that?
You don't think they'll allow travel though by June, or you think they're going to keep travel done until that time?
I don't know. It's the question. It's the unknown. And so I think Dana's looking at it and saying, well, I'm not going to go with an unknown. I'm going to make something happen. I'm going to have this thing wherever it's at. I would think that Fight Island is somewhere not in the Caribbean, like people are saying. It is somewhere more towards, the Middle East area, towards all of the things that are there in the United Arab Emirates, towards Israel, all that. There's got to be some place that he's got, you figure they had Flash Entertainment owned a part of the UFC for quite a while there. He still has those contacts, and there's all those little tiny places out there.
Flash Entertainment is what?
Flash Entertainment is a United Arab Emirates corporation that a lot of money.
10%, right, is what they bought?
They had bought 10%, 9% from the Fertittas and 1% from Dana.
Got it. That's pretty cool. Yeah, I can see them building a whole little island, and somewhere in Dubai or something like that, or outside of Dubai.
Well, I mean, come on, take a look at Dubai and you can see all the islands that are made.
Yeah.
So it's like, well, they could do it. I don't know how much money it would cost, but.
They were, this was years and years ago. They were saying that China was actually trying to build a landing strip in an island out there, like right around Hawaii. They were maybe even more south. They were trying to build an island that was like a landing strip so they could have a base out there. So they were dumping sand, and this island had just appeared in the middle of nowhere. And some of the what are they called? The satellites. Yeah. Satellites had noticed this island was being built and it was getting bigger and bigger. And they're like, what the fuck is going on? So they looked into it more, and Chinese vessels were coming out and dumping sand in this low part of the sea. And they were trying to build an island so they could put a base there, a military base there. That's pretty sneaky, man. I mean, they ended up, I guess, apparently stopping him and telling him, like, it can't be done. This and you guys can't, like, whatever the countries do when they talk and shit gets more fucked up. So
there you go. Another thing that's been happening that people don't even know about, kind of, but we have been, this whole thing with everyone sitting still and stuff. Andy Foster in California started this training thing, and the first time we did it, this is for officials, for judges. That we started it with judges, then it became referees and everybody. But we started.
You got some good stories about this. Let me hear them.
Oh my God!
Let me hear.
People are amazing, dude.
Yes,
they're amazing. Okay,
I'm not sure that's the word I would use, but go ahead.
Special. How's that? I'm going to use special.
Little short yellow bus special.
Oh man, I tell you. See, my wife would get mad at me for saying that. I'm glad you said it because that's the perfect analogy.
I said it.
Short yellow school bus special. We started off when I think we had 5 people on the first call. It was a Zoom. It was the first time that we'd ever. Dude, I wish I had invested in Zoom.
Oh man.
Oh my God, that thing is blown up. But anyways,
crazy.
So we do this Zoom call and we see that we can watch fights together and then talk about them. It's a way of training. Just for the week and stuff. It all worked out. So then. Once it worked out, we figured out, okay, that's how you do it. Then other people were invited. So then all of a sudden, the next call, there was probably 15 people. And then the next call, there was probably 45, 50 people. Then the next call, there's like 100 and some people. And you get all, you're getting, he's inviting other commissions and executive directors. The last call had, Mark Ratner was on it. You had Andy Foster. You had Jim Erickson from Texas. You had all these people from different states and everything. But you're seeing, some of these are high level guys that you're seeing in this call, and then some of them are guys that you've never seen, you don't know. And there's guys sitting there and they'll have their gi on with a black belt around their neck or something. It's like, what are you doing, dude? Do you see everybody on this call? Just all of them train, okay? Yeah. I don't know what you're trying to show, okay? But you're sitting in your house with a gi on. If you haven't figured out the first step in douchebaggery, you have fucking reached it.
Or is the douchebag starter kit? Right. This is like your Zoom button and your gi and black belt. You got downloaded the app, the Zoom app, and then your gi and your black belt.
Man. Please get that out. What are you doing?
It's all right. Maybe he just got done rolling in his living room. Who knows, man?
Maybe he did, man. He had a grappling dummy. Slack. I'm sorry, man.
Give him a break. Maybe, he could have been showing, how much of a jerk are you? He could have been showing his son some techniques right before, and then he just jumped right on the Zoom and Yeah,
exactly.
You're just tearing this guy apart.
I apologize.
Now. Yeah,
I apologize.
I would look at him being. I would look at somebody being more of a douchebag if they just showed up in their banana hammock and be like, "All right, now you're a douchebag. You're a douchebag with a full orange spray tan." I could see that too.
Oh, there you go.
Like, nothing fucking surprises me anymore. I'm just telling you, not one thing surprises me. It's hilarious to see. I see people walking around all the time, and they like back in the old Jersey Shore days, right? How they were always orange. I still see that, except I see it now on women. And I'm like, why? What? I don't understand. I just don't get it. Anyways, I wish women would stop getting like injections. You know, like they all must go to the same doctor. They all look the same, and it bugs me. And I'm just like, gosh, like you guys, I've known some girls that were just had like those soft features, beautiful. And I talked with Rogan about this. I'm like, why? Why are they doing this? Now some of these girls, they all look like all the other girls. They're still beautiful, but everything looks plasticky. And I'm like, it's ruined. It's ruined a lot of. They got lips that look like someone just punched them. Yeah.
It's like, come on, man. Just be who you are. I've been this way for my whole life. Ugly. It works. Okay, just let it be. It doesn't matter.
Oh, I got to tell you guys though, John, Elaine showed me this picture of John. I said, send it to me. She wouldn't send it to me. With him in these white, like, Speedos.
No, bullshit. No speed. Dolphin shorts from the freaking 80s. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah. They were close to Speedos.
Those are running shorts.
John, I didn't realize, like, I knew we called you Big John for a reason. And I remember the first fights you did back in the day. But man, you looked huge in that picture. Huge. I just was jacked. I'm like, man, it looked like he was carrying watermelons and trying to like get himself through the crowd. It was great. You know when you send somebody out to like, hey, take the trash out, and they try to carry 2 trash cans? That's what John looked like. He was like walking like it was great, man. But it was like Eye of the Tiger white 80s runner shorts, right? They're
runner shorts.
Almost almost what the Hooter girls wear. So it was, but they were white. Compared to a Hooter girl. But they were white. But it was. I thought, if I was a woman, sexy. You were definitely sexy. To give you a hard time. Yeah. Oh man, I look back at some of my high school stuff, and I'm thinking to myself,
it's horrible.
Bro, what?
It's horrible.
I was like, what the fuck are you thinking?
My wife, oh dude, she pulls that shit out, and I said, burn that goddamn thing. Right?
Oh no. I tried to get her to send it to me. She did you a solid though. She didn't send it to me because I would hold that over your head the rest of your life. It was great. Hey, I heard that you're doing a bunch of breakdowns right now for CBS.
Yeah,
for the Bellator fights.
Bellator Recharged is out there, and so from my little spot here, I got to do things that get Mike Sorno gets me an idea of what he wants, and we talk about they started off with the World Heavyweight Grand Prix that Bellator ran, and just showing fights off of it. And there's some really good fights in there, so give a little clip, and then they run the whole show on CBS. So.
Now,
Sports.
CBS Sports, correct? Okay, so CBS Sports, yeah. I think this is going to be the beginning of a new relationship, and I'm excited, man. I know there was a lot of talk. I don't know if we're going to get full action fights on there right away. They'll do a lot of replays, I believe, for at least a while, and then eventually, hopefully, they'll start moving some of our shows over there. I know we'll have a lot of shows to catch up. So they're going to have to run some probably on Paramount, some on CBS, some on CBS Sports. We have a lot of shows to catch up on, a lot of fighters that are contracted to be fighting. So the Bellator's in the same type of little pickle that the UFC is, except the UFC has double the amount of fighters on contract. So the UFC is even more, like way more in a pickle because, they do 54 shows or something like that a year. So they've got a lot to catch up on. So for them to miss this amount of time, fuck, man. I can see why Dana's panicking, and I could always understand. I could always understand his side of having to deal with all this, because he's like, fuck, these guys they literally can wash them out, take all and make them pay them if they don't get their fights in their amount of time that they're contracted. And I've said this story before. Sean Shirk did that to them one time, and after that, he got released after his last, one of his next fights. They just
so what him. You're saying is probably wasn't a good idea.
Yeah, it's not a good idea. But I mean, I guess you could look at it in a couple different ways. You know, like you're making a business decision. There's not other promotions for you to go to that pay very well, depending on who you are. Just let's make that clear, okay? If you are someone who's not ranked in the top 25, I wouldn't even consider it. Like you just just bite the bullet and keep fighting.
You did see that the UFC did pay those guys for London, like you were talking about.
Yeah. Yeah, we're
20,000.
We're on a positive note here, so I want to stay away from that. Like we're talking positive about the UFC.
What? Hold it.
I thought it was positive. I thought it was a slap in the face.
Oh, okay. Hold it. I want you to think back. You got 10,000 from them, and you were happy.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Why?
Because there was no other promotion for me to go to. There's promotions now for these guys to go to. There was no other promotion to go to. Where was it? UFC just bought Strikeforce. Where the fuck was I going to go?
If you're Leon Edwards or you're Tyron Woodley, the 20,000 is like, damn, I was going to make a whole lot more than that.
Yeah.
That sucks. But for a lot of the fighters, hey, it's a good thing, and at least they got paid something. So
I agree. I'm very happy that they got paid something. I thought it was a little bit of a slap in the face. You know, some of them did probably, hey, that was their minimum, or that was their actual full purse.
Actually their pay.
Yeah, that was actually their pay. So yeah, but not for the guys that are on that main card.
Well, not for the main ones. But
not for the main card. Main card probably made, you know, those guys are making probably 120. That's a lot of money to bite a bullet on. I'm just, that's a lot of money. And
they're
not knowing when
not
knowing. Now, here's the other thing. Does that count as a fight towards their contract? So does that mean that fight's off?
No.
I mean, should it?
Should. Yes.
You know, so now my pay goes up to the next one in the next fight.
Ooh.
Like there's different ways. Because now you paid me 20 grand. Did I win or did I win or did I lose? Is my pay going up? Is my pay going up 3 to 5 or 10 grand like it was supposed to?
All I would say is I know I didn't lose.
Yeah. See, so it's where do you go with the money wise? Next part. I mean, I'm very I don't know. I'm happy that they got paid. I'm happy they got a little bit of money to put in their pocket.
Josh,
to keep
look
going.
at the sunshine. Look at the bright side. Come on, sunshine, baby. Look at the sunshine.
Yeah, I know. I am. It's burning my eyes. No, I know people are going to rag on me for on them. I thought we were on a positive note, so I'll stay that way. I think it's good they got paid. Like I said, there's a lot of details I would like to know more about. Like, does their pay go up? Does that count as a fight off their contract? Their pay go up? Those are little things, yeah. But in the long run, those are
things you're never going to know.
Yeah.
You're not going to know that. That's between the promotion and the fighter. You're not going to know. Or their
I don't even think the fighters have even thought about that yet.
They probably haven't.
Yeah.
You're probably right about that. But their management, I'm sure, is thinking about it.
Possibly, yeah. Possibly. It depends on who your manager is, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah.
Who knows? I think it's a podcast, Davis.
I just think you're in a bad mood because of what you're wearing today with the skip cap and the rolled up sleeves. All you need now is a cigarette and you'll be good to go.
Oh yeah, I'm a gangster. It's like, no, I'm in a great mood. I think I'm excited about UFC 249. It's gonna happen.
Yes.
What are the next two shows gonna be called? 50 and 51. Nothing.
Doesn't matter to me. Who cares? I don't care what it's called.
Oh, they haven't said anything yet? And will it still be in Jacksonville? So it'd be 3 5. Okay, so all three locations.
Same location. So they set up for the UFC, they set up their stuff. You know, they'll have the arena. No one's going to use the arena anyways.
Yeah.
So they don't have to break anything down. They'll be able to do those 3 shows there back to back to back.
Interesting.
The question is, you know, for some of the people having to stay there, now you're taking wherever you live and now you're going there, and once the first show is over, what do you do for that week? It's like, okay, this is great for a couple days. You're in Jacksonville.
You can walk around, right. I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, you can walk around, do your thing, but it's
Are they do you know if they're providing what is it? The COVID shot? I guess there's some sort of COVID shot that you can get.
Lysol.
Mm-hmm.
Lysol.
Boy, say one thing that they can play with.
Wow.
You're gonna get just work.
No, Clorox chewables. They've got Clorox didn't waste any time with their chewables, man. They came right out.
Hey, bleach tastes a whole lot better than you realize.
I'll take your advice. I'll take your word on that, buddy.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, geez.
Burns a little going down.
Yeah, burns a little. Jeez.
Well, I have you know, and people say all the time I look drunk on here, so
it makes
might
sense.
as well say I've had things to drink that kind of tasted like bleach, I guess, and went down the same way. So.
Oh man. Oh shit. What's up?
Early. It's too early for drinks, John.
No.
Yeah.
He's on the East Coast, man. It's right around that time. That's hilarious. What
Sunrise
else?
here, baby.
Oh, sun's here now.
Yeah, not quite.
What else? What else we got?
Can see everybody's brain ticking right now.
Yeah.
Oh, my brain is not ticking at all. Don't worry.
Did you guys hear the Khabib's dad's in hospital right now?
Oh yeah, that's a real question because you know they say he's got pneumonia.
Yeah.
And you know, normally we'd say, "Oh man, that's bad. He's got pneumonia. That's not good." But they'll be able to take care of it. And now you're thinking, is it pneumonia or is it caused by this coronavirus? Did he end up, you know, catching it? Is he going to be okay? All I can say is, you know, I hope everything turns out great for, you know, his father. I hope he's healthy. I hope he comes out of this, you know, fine. Yeah. You know, pray for him.
Yeah, I think I'm just yeah, it's sad. It's sad to say. But we had some friends I had a couple of friends that actually thought it was COVID. They went to the hospital and it was pneumonia. So they were able to treat it, came home, everything was fine. So, but I guess apparently there are some similarities because of it affects the lungs. So hopefully he just gets put on some medication and gets sent home. Yeah, I didn't want to think about what would happen. It would just change Khabib's whole lifestyle and everything that he looks to his father for everything. It doesn't even matter. He looks to his father for everything. So yeah, send prayers, love, and everything to his family and his father. So
hope that comes out good. You know, the funny thing is, and Podcast Dave is the guy that should really listen to this. You know, the similarities that they're getting off of, you know, this COVID is overweight.
Wow. Podcast Dave.
So everyone saw when he did the workout video with you that, you know, way overweight or at least out of shape.
Yeah, very out of shape. Very. Yeah.
Having high blood pressure.
Oh, he for
diabetes.
Sure. His face was red when he was working out.
I'm going to buy a dozen donuts after this show as well. So I'm going straight to the donut shop.
Yeah, I might go with him. No, it's funny is to see he is fat and overweight. You know, for someone who's
he's not fat at all.
He's like what? What are you? 5'6"?
Not overweight.
5'6", 5'7"? What?
What?
202?
Come on.
I'm 6'1", dumbass.
He's definitely looking down on you, man.
Oh man,
don't be jealous
he's
just because you're like 4'2".
Don't be jealous, homie.
Calm down, Manute Bowl. Calm down. When Kim made Matumbo, calm down, buddy.
Fucking Josh, man.
Oh,
I have to duck to get into the studio. Josh can do jumping jacks in the doorway.
I have one of those. Oompa Loompa door studios. It gets bigger, like the room gets smaller.
Smaller.
You guys think Josh is sinking into that chair? He's not. It's just that chair's a normal size. Josh just looks tiny in it.
That chair's got lifts.
Yeah. It elevates.
Dave's got controls that keeps on pumping it up.
Exactly. So Josh doesn't have to climb up onto it when he gets here.
It's hilarious to listen to this guy talk. It's so funny. I'll tell you. Because when he gets off, when he's not behind that desk and that microphone, he turns into a completely different person. Don't be scared, homie. Don't be scared. You got to walk past me to get to the exit, bud.
Well, I did give you permission. I never want you to hurt Dave in a bad way. Don't ever hit him to the head. Don't kick him to the head.
Oh.
But after his recent comments that were on a text message that we had, I told you, I want you to liver kick that son of a bitch.
Oh, man. He's going to get it. It's going to be great.
Not unless it's on video.
Oh, man.
He just needs a body shot just to feel it.
Oh, man.
It's an experience you never forget.
Coker talked to me. I talked to Coker yesterday. He said something about they're going to be like releasing all 3 of my Gill fights on CBS. And I was like, I'm trying to figure out how, because unless Showtime has the rights to that, I don't know.
Yeah, well, Showtime has rights to old Strikeforce fights, along with the Zuffa, not the UFC, but Zuffa owns the old Strikeforce library, so they have the rights. But then there's rights by Showtime that they have for so long to be able to show that. So that might be how.
Interesting.
Since Showtime is owned by CBS.
Got it. Yeah. I was trying to figure out how, because I've seen like the UFC has been putting out some old Strikeforce fights. They just put out the
they put out anything they want.
Yeah, Jacare and something fight. It was a good fight.
Jacare and something. Tim Kennedy?
No. I can't remember. CTE. It was a good fight. It was a good fight. Oh, Lawler. Sorry. It was Jacare and Lawler.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was a good little scrap for the first round and a half, and then Lawler started getting tired.
Yep.
But it was a good little scrap, man. I think that's it, bud. What else? That's it?
I think we're good.
Talk to me, like, what's going on with your place? Weather's crap. Nashville, I heard it was raining like an inch every 10 minutes, man. There, huh?
Man, I tell you what, Mother Nature, she is an absolute bitch. Okay?
She like Dave. She's like Podcast Dave.
She gets pissed, and man, here it's like, all of a sudden, it'll be like sunshine. All of a sudden, you see the rolling clouds come in, and all of a sudden, it's like,
yeah.
And I'm not used to it. California, you get rain, it's like, little dripples.
Yeah.
Doesn't do anything, man. Here, it gets angry, and then all of a sudden, it's gone. And here comes the sun again. You go, okay, I guess you're not that pissed anymore. But man, it's crazy. I love the weather here. It's really cool.
Yeah, you live right there on a lake, right?
Yeah.
So, your dock. Why is your dock flood all the time? Is it
because? Okay, I'll explain it to you.
You don't have it on floaters?
No, floating docks. That's weak.
Okay. Okay. Go ahead.
Think of a pier in the ocean. Okay. Does the pier float? No, it's got moors and it goes down into the ground, and the waves crash against it. Nothing rocks, and you can stay on it. Doesn't matter.
Got it.
That's the way a real boathouse is. Well, here they have all of these different dams and locks and levels. Well, obviously water runs downhill, and so coming from the mountains and going through Tennessee and the Little Tennessee River, it hits all these different dams. Well, they have it's called the Tennessee Valley TVA, Tennessee Valley Authority, and they control those dams and locks. Well, when it rains a lot, it may not even be raining where you're at, but it's raining up here, and all this water is coming. And I mean, there's a lot of water. And so then they try to regulate, and they'll let water out, but they can only let so much water out, or they start to flood down below you. So they do this management of they'll bring the lake up to a certain point, and sometimes it floods your boathouse a little bit or a lot. And yeah, it's just part of living here. It's all good. When it first happened, I was like, holy shit, I'm pulling stuff off and it's bad. It's like, the whole thing's going to sink. Now it's like, oh, here comes the water.
Yeah.
I don't care anymore.
Do you lose some chairs?
Oh, you do. With my wife, I lose chairs all the time.
Oh, man.
And my wife leaves stuff out there. And if you leave stuff out, like the winds come, the winds and the rain, they will take a chair and it will look like the Wizard of Oz. It's going off of the dock and down into the water. And it's like, now I got to fish it out.
Your wife's polluting.
Oh, man, tell me about it. It's bad.
I know the weather's been strange because Frankie Egger posted a video. My mom lives in Toms River where Frankie lives. And he posted a video from his ring, his doorbell ring, the camera video of the tornado whipping through like right by his house. There's a tornado in Toms River. I'm like, that's random. But it was like, he showed the video and then all of a sudden his video got real staticky and then came back. But yeah, it was pretty cool, man. I was like, wow, that's insane. I see how fast the wind picked up and how fast it slowed down. It was like that's crazy. Strange times, my man. Strange times. We're living in strange times.
I will tell you, I have reached the level of complete hick.
You are a hick
because
now?
I have a pet possum.
Oh, man. You guys, that thing is gonna.
Excuse me. It's an opossum.
Opossum. That thing is gonna grow up and just. It's gonna just. You guys have animals? It's gonna probably kill one of your animals here soon.
It ain't gonna kill nothing, dude. They don't do anything. Man.
No, man. They are not friendly.
They are.
Not when they get older.
Yeah, all they do is they act. Okay, they're kind of like that dude, that
they're like
known
Dave.
all your life.
They're like Podcast Dave.
Tough. Exactly. They're like Podcast Dave. They'll sit there and they'll like puff up, and as soon as you do anything, they just fall over and act dead.
You guys, if you guys haven't gone to Podcast Dave's Instagram, you guys got to go there. Podcast Dave is what it is. I got to tell you guys, man, it's hilarious. Look at some of his old pictures from him back in Scotland. Oh man, he has the dyed M&M blonde hair. He's got it all. He's got he's got like old videos of him. He calls it spitting bars. So where he's rapping, it's pretty funny, man. You got to check it out.
Meanwhile, go back and look at old pictures of Josh with freaking rainbow hair.
It's okay though, but I was making.
He did have that. I remember those.
I was. I did.
You can't say shit.
I can say something. I can, but I won't.
Try.
I won't. Always trying to knock me. All right, guys. Well, hey, it was great talking to you guys. Dave and I are going to get a bunch of donuts. And so, I'm going to enjoy the rest of my Sunday, enjoy the rest of your Sunday, and we will chat again. Maybe try to get another one this week sometime if we can. See if Podcast Dave can fit us in. Okay.
Stupid.
He is a busy man.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say it.
Well, I'm not going to say it.
He can't. All right, guys. Hey, thank you so much. Go to YouTube, hit this thumbs up and subscribe button there. Please share our videos everywhere else you possibly can. Post our videos on Facebook, Instagram, anywhere you guys can. We would appreciate it. Go ahead and start getting our word out. And also go to prowrestlingtees.com/Josh Thompson Official. We have a new shirt up there, as well as our logo shirt, which is weighing in. So check that out there. Check them out. I actually like this next one because the next one has the design of us and the fence, and then Podcast Dave over the fence.
Podcast Dave.
We'll also repost those pics on IG. So once you have your T-shirt, take a picture and send it to us.
That's true. Yeah. So
please
send
do.
it, tag us in it, and then we'll repost it and show you guys some gratitude. Thank you so much. We appreciate it. And enjoy the rest of your weekend, and we'll talk to you guys soon.